With us. Let's begin with insecurity in the southeast, where a sort of double tragedy hit a prominent man in the zone. An Imo State businessman, Ikechukwu Ibelebe, has been found dead 2 weeks after he was reportedly kidnapped by gunmen in his hometown in Owerri, Akokwa, in Idiato North local government area of the state. Ibelebe's corpse was found by villagers where it was dumped in a local community in Orumba South local government area of Anambra State. This was after the yet-to-be-identified assailant collected 10 million naira ransom from his family. This is very, very tragic, Jide. And we keep seeing this, and this assailant, after killing the person they kidnapped, they will still collect money, the ransom from the family of these people. So why killing the person you've abducted after collecting the ransom?
Usually they would even have killed the person and still hold on.
They would have killed the victim?
Yes, with a view to taking money. They do this a lot these days. They would have killed the person. They will now be hanging on so that the family, they can make as much money as possible from the family. Remember even that little girl in Kano that was murdered by the teacher, the proprietor of her school. After the death of the girl, they were still collecting money from the family. And they knew that he had killed the girl. So in this case, the kidnappers collected 5 million initially, but didn't allow the family to speak with him. And when the family insisted that they had to speak with the man, he asked for another 5 million.
Once the situation is like that you can't speak with the victim.
Yet, he asked for another 5 million, and in spite of the payment of the 5 million, they wouldn't release him and they wouldn't let him speak with his family.
Is it mostly not to identify any of them, or what? Why would they go ahead?
I think that
to kill this victim?
Some of what we are witnessing in the southeast is a mixture of terrorism and criminality, because once they lay their hands on a big person, they are likely to kill the person, whatever happens. This is what they've been doing. Big person, a politician, they get hold of that person, is not likely to come back alive. So,
to leave no trace.
It's not. This is terrorism. Terrorism is not about leaving a trace. It's about instilling fear in people that look
just wicked,
just sheer wickedness. Look at all the high-profile people they've killed, whether they are politicians or not. They will just kill, and they will have taken money, or they will still kill the person. So it's terrorism. It's just sheer wickedness that is going on in the southeast, especially the area between Imo and Anambra. This is where this is very, very prevalent. It's not as prevalent in Enugu or in Ebonyi, but that that place is like the axis of criminality in the southeast. The boundary between Imo and Anambra State. That's where they are killing people. So once you get kidnapped, only a miracle will make you come out alive. They are saying they don't want politics, don't discuss politics. They catch people. The first thing that comes to their mind is to waste that person, not just even the money. So this money just looks like a bonus to them. Just go back and see some of those cases. They just keep people.
GKB, when this campaign started, when we're saying unknown gunmen, it was hidden under the guise of, maybe outsiders, strangers, Fulani herdsmen, people that are not a part of them, coming to wreak havoc within the southeast. But apparently, after some time, we got to know that, look, it's still the same set of people, criminals, cultists, outlaws within the southeast, wreaking havoc on their own community.
Well, the reality that has faced us as a nation is the fact that the state has failed in protecting its citizens at such a level that such audacity can take place in the geographically the smallest landmass out of the 6 regions in Nigeria. Because it's very, very, very bad if one should say that, fine, the reason why it's rampant in the north was because of the size of the forest. That some of them are bigger than states. You cannot use the same excuse to justify what's happening in the southeast, where the entire landmass is very small compared to. So we're facing the same problem with different dynamics. And that to me is the danger. Because the one in the southeast now is more cohesive. They pick somebody up in Nemo. The money, like Jide said, was just a bonus. I'm sure the guy must have been wasted immediately. Maybe they now realized how much they could make from the cops. They decided, okay, let's expand this. Move it away from the point of trying to make a statement, now to make money out of that tragedy. There must be something that we can do as a nation to reduce these things happening to us. Because no matter what we say, the reality is that the people who are mandated by law to protect us have not been doing a very good job when it comes to this particular reality. And like I said, we can give excuses of expanse of land where they can escape in some areas. You can't say the same thing about what is happening here. Because from the point it was taken to the point it was found, according to Google, was an extensive level than about 25, 30 kilometers radius. That is a chicken walk for somebody taking in Zamfara and taking to Niger. That will be about 200, 300 kilometers. So if you cannot narrow down the areas of interest and really solve the problem, then I don't know what exactly we are doing as a nation of laws.
I think the community leaders, the elders, in the southeast should be able to rein in these people. So far, they are renegades or they are cultists or outlaws from within that, zone.
Well, it's difficult given the way that they operate. Stationary terrorists are a lot easier to deal with if you can identify their hideouts, the forest where they operate from. But these ones move around. They are very mobile. They move around, so you don't know where they will strike next, and that is why it's been really, really difficult. Look at the Labour Party candidate that was killed, just like that. This not. I don't think it's money that they want. They just want to create a climate of fear in the southeast. The guys that a Biafran state will protect them better. Nigeria, there's no point believing in Nigeria, and they've just been killing people. You kidnap people, they kill them. They don't ask questions, they just kill people. So if you're unfortunate to be kidnapped in that part of the country, most of the time, more than 90% of the time, it's not for the money. They just feel like killing people, and that's why many rich men are reluctant to go to the east. There are people from the southeast like going home in December, to meet with their kids and kin, enjoy the Christmas holiday. But this time around, people are reluctant to go home because these boys will be lying in wait to kill you. And it's just a terrible thing. The governor of Imo State is one governor among his peers today who has invested so much in security. We'll see some of the armored vehicles that Hope Uzodinma bought. You will know that this is somebody who doesn't take security seriously. But in spite of that, this kind of killings still take place in this area. It's terrible. It's really terrible. I hope that the incoming administration will be able to find a way to put an end to the nonsense that's going on. People are reluctant to go to the East for reasons like this. Look at, even on 20th January, CUPP spokesman, Ugo Chinyere, was attacked in this same area. And 3 persons were killed and 33 vehicles burnt. You know? The resident of the sole administrator of Fediat or not was completely reduced to ashes. It's a terrible thing, but for a family to come together, raise money by way of ransom, and
very painful.
You know, it happened in Kogi State too. It happened in Kogi State too. One guy was kidnapped. The family struggled. They raised the money only for the kidnappers to tell them to go and carry his corpse in the forest where they left it. They left it somewhere in Yagba land. He just met his corpse there. This man is particularly painful that this person that they have killed, he is someone who has invested so much on the underprivileged. He has an NGO where he takes care of, through which he takes care of elderly people. And he's based here in Lagos. He's the CEO of Divine Ike Motors. You know? Then he also, the foundation is called Divine Ike Foundation for Humanity. It caters for the elderly and the needy in the Southeast. So this is a person useful to the society, who wants to make life more meaningful for the underprivileged. That is the person that
Timmy is calling us from Abuja.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Yes. My take is that most of these terrorist acts in the Southeast is a copycat of the Champagne in Ireland. That's why they don't have an identifiable place or space. They operate from within homes. When it's time for them to strike, the order is given. Go out and strike. I think that is what is happening in the Southeast. There is no hideout per se. It's not like the Northeast or the Northwest. It's very much like the Irish Republican Army. Thank you.
Thank you, Timmy. GKB, some people will say because of this outgoing administration, because of, marginalization, semi-marginalization, because of appointments skewed against the southeastern zone. That's allegedly. That's why they've taken, some people have taken to this kind of criminality in the name of, crusade for the southeast.
There's a Yoruba proverb that says that Agbosi Lubaje. I'm sure there are still elders in the southeast who can talk to these people, tell them the truth, guide them aright. Because it's un-African to understand that people will take over the streets of our land and there'll be somebody somewhere they can listen to. I don't think it's true. So that means either they are complicit in this particular tragedy or they created the monster that they can no longer control. Because fine, if you are talking about marginalization, there always will be an excuse to do the bad thing. As you say, it doesn't matter how bad things are. If you are not inclined to do the bad thing, you will not do it. And I know people who would rather starve than beg. And I know people who would rather beg than go into criminal activities. It's a state of mind. So I don't think it's the marginalization, because they've moved beyond the point of now asking for equity in the Nigerian state to demanding a state or a nation of their own. That thing is it's like a drug, because it gives you an utopian vision of what the place will be, devoid of the Nigerian nuisance, if I can use that word, within the system. But you and I know that's not true. You look at Sudan, you look at South Sudan, you look at even countries in East Africa who broke away 60 years ago. They are now being forced to come together to cooperate economically, because they realize that there is something to gain with numbers. So anybody can stand up and make all the right noises about liberation, about marginalization, about this government doing the nasty to the Southeast. But even then, there are people in the Southeast who don't go into this, who are thriving. They've never been to drugs, they've never been to organ harvesting, they've not been to banditry, they've not been to freedom fighting, I call it that. Yet they are still thriving within the Southeast. They are not in Lagos, they are not in Abuja, they are not in the US. They are right there in Owerri, in Enugu, in Onitsha, thriving. That means not everybody will use that as an excuse of what they are doing. I still think, based on the African experience, elders in that area, either people have lost respect for them totally, or they are complicit in this particular tragedy.
All right.